Hello, everybody. This is the whatever episode of The Purposes of the Pale. That's what you're listening to, and I'm Greylink, the host of the podcast, and with me is my co-host.
Niggas say I'm out of town, I'm in Hong Kong. I'm just trying to get this cash in Hong Kong. I don't care about fighting.
YUNO
Miles.
Yeah.
I am YUNO Miles. I am, the author behind such bangers like...
It's the first special episode.
First of all, Happy New Year to everybody listening and to Gray especially.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you too, man. And also everybody listening. It's been a long year, and it's been a year which brought a lot of varied experiences to a lot of people. So hopefully we have a good year this year.
2024.
Yeah, 2020.
That's what YUNO Miles once said. I smacked my grandma, I left in 2024. Okay, so should probably give a context on who YUNO Miles is, just for a brief second. I'm not going to derail it too much.
Okay.
So, over the past 9 days since I recorded the last podcast, which is like, it's ironic because like right after I finished it, I was like, I want something funny to watch. And I just found one of his songs. And then I laughed so hard that I developed like stomach ache for like a day. Like, okay, I also was eating very badly. I was like, No need to get into that, but basically, yeah, YUNO Miles is the greatest artist of our generation, and I've been spamming everybody I know that song for like 9 days now, and everybody except like one guy was like, "This is so bad, but you don't get it." They don't get it. It's like they don't see the appeal in it, and I feel insane for being the only guy who likes it.
I mean, how could anyone not see the musical mastermind that is YUNO Miles? I mean,
Yeah.
that's just
Yeah. Nobody can go, "Oh, she a bitch, she a honey bun." I think New Year's is a occasion that brings a lot of reflection for me, at least. The start of it's a start of a new cycle, and it makes you reflect on what you did. For example, last New Year's or like last year this time, right?
Yeah.
So it's been an interesting time. 2024 is it marks a lot of things for me. First of all, the U.S. election, yay! We're definitely we're marching towards a brighter future.
Oh, is that year? It's this year. Okay.
Well, you did know it was this year?
Yeah. I mean, I did know that the U.S. and India have the same year of the election, so ours is also this year, not the presidential, but the prime minister one.
Let me do a wild guess. Modi's gonna win again.
Probably, yeah.
Let me do a wild guess that nobody has ever said. It's a controversial opinion. But
unfortunately, that's how it's looking right now.
Yeah, and unfortunately for the U.S., we're not gonna talk about elections. The first fucking podcast of the year. It's not a good omen. But yeah, I don't know what's gonna happen. 2016 was bad. It was an election year.
It's like the U.S. presidential election. Just always like for foreigners, it just looks like Spider-Man versus Superman, basically.
As in, what does that mean?
I mean, it doesn't really it's like the red versus blue. There's no real difference there. I mean, red is like usually like much worse, but still. For foreigners.
Okay. Yeah. I get it. U.S. Domestically matters quite a bit more than foreign policy, I guess, because it hasn't changed that much. But I mean, depending on the crises right now, if Trump gets elected again, he's gonna first of all pull support from Ukraine, and I don't know what the fuck is gonna happen after that, and double down on Israel support, probably. I don't know. Joe Biden's already politics.
Oh, I mean, you do have international politics or something, right?
Yeah, I do. So I pay attention to that stuff. Unfortunately, I really wish I didn't have to, but hey.
I do not care about electoral politics and shit. So.
Yeah, you want to overthrow the government first of all.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I think
the only option.
I think it's useful to still participate in it or at least pay attention to it. But obviously. The change that it can enact is on a smaller scale than a full-blown revolution, but obviously that's also like 10 billion times more unfeasible now.
Yeah.
But yeah, moving on from one depressing topic to hopefully the next one. That's not that depressing.
Hopefully the next one, that's not, okay.
2024, right?
Yeah.
This is the year I enter into my final year of school. And you
same,
too, right?
Yeah, we're in the same grade, yeah.
final year of school, 12th grade, and yeah, it's making me think. I mean, I usually think about this as well, but the path of the future. I'm always because maybe it's just the people I hang around with and the people I'll come across doing this YouTube thing. But I've seen a lot of people who kind of, anime fans basically. They don't really do much, right? Like they finish school or maybe finish high school and they just kind of lay around, become a NEET, or like do something like that, and nobody really cares because their parents are like, they're willing to house them despite that fact. Or maybe some people just like get stuck in a dead end job and they don't really feel that much like I guess
drive
aspiration in their life, drive in their life. And I just don't really want to end up like that. But I also have this fear towards the future that I feel, I can see that from them, right? Like they don't really. I think they would rather focus on doing like watching more anime than talking about what college you're going to next. And I sometimes feel like I'm slipping into that, and that terrifies me. So basically, I am terrified of the absence of change, but I'm also terrified of change. Is this dialectic? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I mean, same here, honestly. Like, I mean, I like change. Like, I like the idea of change. The world's fucked up, and like my life is fucked up. We need to change for the better. But when it comes to like actually doing it, I'm like incredibly terrified. I think that applies to a lot of people as well. I mean, I'm not very good at handling change. Me changing my school was like an incredibly huge event for me. It was like. It was just hard emotionally and shit. I mean, my case is definitely much different from yours because I have an academic thing. I have an academic field that I am interested in. So, I mean, it's kind of like a.
I'm just gonna study in bullshit.
Not a backnet.
Yeah, you're gonna have what is it? Plan B.
A safety net. A safety net. I guess.
Safety net.
I mean, I do want to like make it. I do want to incorporate it into my original path thing. Like make more philosophy focused videos and shit. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's definitely more different for you than it is for me. But still, it does really scare me. I mean, I'm. The problem with philosophy and the problem with my personal interest is that I can't really stay here in my home state and study. I have to either get out of state or get out of the country, both of which will be quite difficult because my parents are not the richest people in the world, and I would probably have to either get a real life part-time job or like do something on the internet to get like money. So it's not gonna be very easy, but I guess that it is what it is at the end of the day.
We're thinking of going Slovenia to meet your idol.
No, the probably not. I mean, Slovenia is it's probably very expensive, right? Probably.
I mean, it depends, right? If Slovenia is expensive for you, then Germany is unfeasible. Then. So.
No. The thing with Germany is that Germany has free tuition, like public tuition is free. So I just need to take.
I'm pretty sure Slovenia tuition costs like €5. Like it's not gonna be like US rates.
I mean, then again, there's the other thing is that I need to learn the language. So
that's true.
I mean, ideally speaking, I get to go to a place where they teach in English, but that's. Speaking very idealistically, I mean, I mean, I'm looking at France and like Poland. I mean, you can't really choose any country. Yeah, you can't really choose any countries based on like what their political climate is because I mean, most countries are like shit and don't like Indian people unless you're in India. I mean, Indians don't like Indian people, so
nice. Well, some of my friends are planning to go to France as well, but they're mostly just like they have siblings there, and they also they want to study design or some bullshit like that. So they go there for postmodern architecture, dude, or something. I don't know.
I mean, France is like the place for postmodernism, right? The French intellectuals and shit.
I don't think French people are real. Anyways, I think you brought up something interesting.
I mean,
you brought up something interesting that which being your transfer this year, which also happened to me. Like we both switched schools, right? And I think if we were gonna talk about,
we're literally the same person.
Yeah, and if I were to title this video something like tentatively like the 2023 decompression chamber, where the goal of this podcast. By the way, we're like fucking 30 minutes in, we haven't talked about it. So decompression chamber, right? We talk about what happened over the year, and also maybe a bit towards the future if our eyes are brave enough to face it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If our brains are big enough to comprehend it.
Indeed. And I think we both transfer schools in the beginning of the year, right? Or like something closer to the beginning.
Yeah. Around the beginning, yeah.
Which month was it for you?
Mine, it was, I mean, I went to the school for the first time in April, but the thing, the academic year began in June.
Yeah. Pretty much the same for me. Like legit, actually just the same for me. Yeah. Yeah, I got to the new school at around April, March, like end of April. No, end of March, beginning of April. And yeah, I was transferred in between the academic years, and it wasn't. So I had like a few months of like not doing anything because like they knew I didn't know any of the material, so there's like just stand there, do nothing basically. But yeah, and you've kind of talked about your experience of it being pretty emotionally taxing, right?
Yeah.
What part of it was like, the hardest, I guess? The hardest, well, I guess.
Yeah, it was mostly the change. I mean, I didn't really like my old school. I mean, that's kind of one of the big reasons that I left. But the change itself is quite, it's quite taxing for me. It's like, I was just like more scared that, I mean, I've always had this fear of schools being too possessive of my personhood, if that makes sense. After coming to this school, it was like it doubled basically, because this school is much more, I guess, involved with the individual, with the student, because it's much more of a community. Because my school right now is like it's actually for the children of the employees of a certain a certain corporation, which is owned, as of right now, it's owned by the government, but it probably will privatize soon. So most of the children there are part of this somewhat like a pseudo family, basically. So
incest.
There was yeah. Yes, actually, yeah. That's exactly it. So there was that problem, which is, it's already hard to like relate to these people, because they already have like insane connections with each other. But the problem was that
fucking sucks, dude. Oh god.
Yeah. Exactly. Continue. Holy shit! There's a dog outside. It won't shut up.
Yeah, I'm hearing it. Doggo. You're mad. You're talking shit about the family. They're coming after you.
Stray dogs, man. They're everywhere. Fucking hate them.
Especially in Bungo. I like both.
What's that?
Never mind.
Okay. Yeah. So my school thing, and if I want to build connections with them, I have to labor for it. And the problem with that is that that'll take more time away from what I want to do, which is like, I don't like that at all. So yeah, there's that problem.
Like already. So I begrudgingly go to a private school. Like obviously, I'm thankful for my parents to give me this opportunity again after I kind of fucked up in my previous school to do this program international again. But I have a burning hatred for what I call private school fucks in my heart. Like, it's just those people who have only been in private schools, and they're like, I just feel like their world is so small, and they're really like limited in what they see, and like all yeah, just like you said, like I feel like all of their personhood is their school, or like a bit besides that, but just mostly their school. And I've seen a lot of those people. Obviously, there's outliers and there's people who are cool who also just went to private schools their whole lives. But I do meet these private school fucks more often than not. So the thought of having like you're basically in an extended family like in that school, that makes me want to hurl up and punch people.
Exactly.
God damn. But yeah, I mean, unfair judgment. If you're in private school and you're listening to this, I'm sure you're cool, unless you don't like Lily Choo or something. Yeah.
I mean, I've my previous school was a private school, but it had. So you know how India has like a problem, which is
what problem?
The caste
Name
system.
all of them. Yeah, I know.
The caste system. So my previous school, it was basically okay. I wouldn't say it's for the people of a caste, but its name or like the community from which it was built was like a caste community. It was not just any caste community, like one of the upper classes or upper or like middle upper castes. And I mean, you can I'll probably already guess. The teachers, the faculty in there were not really fun people because of the said thing. And also the children to an extent. There were some people there who were cool, but to an extent, all of them were pretty much pieces of shit. And also
like that one guy who like
privileged.
keeps messaging like, Ada, please explain why you like feminism.
yeah. I mean, that guy is like honestly, he's not as bad as people can get.
Yeah.
I've heard there's one new guy who came in this year after I left, and who's like a gym bro, and he's like he does not want any of the boys be talking to other girls.
What?
Yeah.
Is he like into the, what is this?
Yeah, and he's like he also watches Andrew Tate and like people like that in the manosphere and shit.
Yeah.
Obviously, and yeah.
He has a fresh and fit Twitch subscription, Rumble subscription, wherever the fuck they're on.
Yeah.
Whatever fucking bum.
And also also there's the Islamophobia, like a hell of a lot of that, because there's another guy who came in who's Muslim, and apparently he is like being harassed by them. I mean, harassed as in like shit jokes and shit. Yeah.
Okay. So not like Lily Choo movie.
No,
that yet.
not being forced to masturbate or anything. But
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. That's good. Oh, not good. That's still bad. Still bad. Less bad. I'm saying. But I mean, we can go into shitty parts of our previous schools, in total. But basically, the point I was trying to get is that the change has been pretty significant for you, right?
Yeah.
I think. I mean, but was it like how was it for you to approach people with a fresh perspective again? Like, learning that they're all private school fucks probably made you kind of sad, but like, having a new chance to, these people don't know me at all, and I can present myself differently.
Yeah, I do think it's like, I mean, when you look at it, like when you take a step back and look at it, and see the wider picture of my life, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's like a net positive change, because these new people, although being private school privileged fucks, are still much better than the people that I knew from my previous school, in that they're more, I guess. I mean, they're liberals. I mean, I'm not doing the fucking cringe communist. Everything is liberal, not that. But yeah, they're better in that they understand a little bit more. I mean, then again, there's the specialization in subjects that came in this year, which is in India it's 11 and 12. You can choose a specific stream. I think that's how it is for a lot of the countries in the world, right? For you too, right?
Yeah. For public schools, yeah. Yeah,
so it's been a little bit easier to find a little bit more like-minded people, although I mean, I can't see anyone who's into who's as into Hegel as I am, but okay, you know.
You might have to travel back to when Hegel was alive. No, I mean he was also hated back then. Never mind.
Yeah, mostly, yeah. So it's been easier to like find people who are more normal and like cool-ish. But you know, it's still very hard. I mean, I'm not a social butterfly. I'm not really good at any of that stuff. So it's been hard, nonetheless. But I guess overall, it's been a positive change.
That's still good to hear. You know, you start from somewhere. You know, life probably can drastically snap a finger. Now you're better, but you know, we go step by step. And for me, For me, I also switched schools this April, and when I first started, I was like pretty apprehensive because it did pivot my life to different directions. And you know, first of all, just like I have to wake up earlier, commute for way longer, and I wasn't used to that. And just these people and how they did things was, you know, so foreign to me. And for the first few months, I wasn't really accustomed to it. But now also, I do feel like it wasn't that positive on my life because I hadn't realized how much. This is probably not a good thing to realize when you've lived in this country for like 9 years. That I can speak the language that they speak pretty fluently, and I can understand it. I can understand when the teacher tries to say something, but I'm also just really not as expressive in Latvian than I am in English. So I felt much more myself in the school, and I felt like there were so many more opportunities for me to put myself out there because I guess, like, I don't know, I just feel like I could be the true me or something, whatever the fuck, you know. And I feel like that's valuable. And also I met people that have like global perspectives, as in like, you know, Russian people have gone through quite a lot of bullshit over the past few years, as you probably definitely know, right? So they've gone through a lot of shit, and they have a pretty different perspective on the world. And I felt, you know, I was interested to learn all of that. And yeah, I mean, it's still school, still has its, you know, bullshit parts, but I think it was probably a better fit for me than the previous school. Not saying the previous school was bad, because it is like the top school in the country. So I don't know. I feel like, just like you, I think I'm at least glad that it's a net positive, even though, you know, definitely there's hurdles on the way. I think that's one of, you know, the first major thing that happened to us this year.
Yeah, it is definitely.
What else do you think when you think about like decompression chamber? What else? What other major events do you think should be decompressed?
I mean, I think tying into like school, I think I finally started to develop an actual social life this year.
Oh, okay. I thought you just said you weren't a social butterfly.
No, I'm not, but still, I'm starting to, or at least I'm trying to start to, because until now, so here's the thing with me and social things. Until now, it's not. I mean, when I say until now, I wouldn't say my teenage years, but like before, when I was like a little child in elementary school, or like even before that, friends and like people to hang out with, they just came naturally, because I think when we were children, you know, and like you were put into a room together with nothing to do, you definitely just go ahead and like, I don't know, fuck around or something, because it's boring otherwise. So it was much easier to make friends. But now that we're teenagers, it's much harder, because we have to like actually provide, like add something to the group. Otherwise, you're not needed there, right?
And also I feel like, you know, when you brought up the bored point, and I thought it was interesting, because I mean, you could also say everybody has a phone now, especially when you're at that age, and they're entertained by themselves. Like, they don't really need. I mean, for you, I know it's different because in schools people don't use phones there. But like, I'm just saying, different. Like, here, people can just
and also
like, be
not
like in their phones.
Not all of the people in my class have phones, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit different over there in India. But yeah, continue with your story though.
Yeah. Okay. So so like human relationships, right? They are conditional, no matter how many people try to like make you say they're not. They are. Even like I remember one example that everyone brings up when talking about unconditional love is the love of the mother, which does not make any sense, because why would your mother love you if you weren't her son, right? So that's a condition. So how is that unconditional?
I mean, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so like yeah. My point is that like most human relationships, like most mature human relationships, are conditional in that you have to like add something, give something that the other person I mean, no. You have to provide something that the other person wants, so that you know you. I mean, I'm not saying this like in like an Andrew Tate fucking I don't know, capitalism, like social relationships are all commodified or something like that. But you know, at the end of the like at the core, at the elementary level, I think that is how social relationships work.
Well, I just don't know if I mean, you can highlight that that's the condition that people operate upon. Like obviously, you could say a mom only does things to this child because he is her child. Yeah, but like I don't think that's the condition we're really talking about. We're really talking about like I feel like at least when I hear it, I hear it about the condition of like affection, or like there's like some expectation where at least everybody desires that their friend would just like check up on them. Their friend would just like talk to them, like you just talk to them.
Exactly.
They would just like show kindness and affection and sympathy without like any you paying them or some shit. And that I think is the obviously it's conditioned to some point. You are my friend, that's why I care about you. But that's that's the kind of borderline condition we already all accept in every social relationship. And the next step is usually what people talk about. I don't know. What do you think?
No. What I mean is like you are my friend because like hanging with you is fun. That's why you are my friend, right? I mean, if like we both hated each other, we wouldn't be friends, right? So
yeah,
that's what I mean, more or less. You provide me with like entertainment, and I hopefully provide you with like some kind of thing like worth. That's why we're friends. So I think it's the same thing with like most mature relationships. I mean, then again, as I said, when we're children, I don't think it works exactly the same, because children, I guess they don't really care as much about it because that's just how schools work, I guess, at that point in time.
No, I mean, yeah, I do agree with your point, like overall about the comparison between children and more grown people, but like. I don't know. How do you transactionalize a thing like asking you how your day was, like a show of kindness? Like that's not really like a, I would ask you that, but like it's not like because I don't know, you provide me entertainment value when I ask you that. No, I just ask you because I want to, because it's kind to do so.
No, I don't think. I mean that's like, I mean, asking. So if I ask you how your day was, I'm still playing the role of a friend. So the transaction happening here is that I'm maintaining the role of a friend there. Does that make sense? I mean, you're not the, okay, what I'm providing you isn't that question itself, isn't my caring of, like your health or anything like that. What I'm providing you is the maintenance of, friendship. In that specific example.
I do agree with you. I think it makes sense. But yeah. Damn.
So, I mean, so like, yeah, the problem that that I have had until like this year was that first off, I don't really know anyone who are into the same stuff as I am. So okay, it's a little bit of a detour here. So I watched Gone in 60 Seconds. That's the.
You watched all of it?
Yeah, I watched all of it. It's the little series by Wooly Versus and Super Eye Patch Wolf. It's like a little silly little thing that they did. So in one of the ending episodes, It's the whole thing is like a big joke. It's a really funny thing. And in the ending episode, there's a scene where, I mean, spoilers if anyone cares. Have you watched it?
I've seen a few, but I haven't seen all of it. But it's fine, you can say it.
Yeah. So by the end, there's a scene where John, who's been this maniac, like hyper Hunter x Hunter's fan, who has done some really psychotic shit to get his friend Wooly to watch Hunter x Hunter with him. So by the point in time when the episode I'm talking about comes around, they've already kind of like hit a break in their friendship because of all the psychotic things John has done, and then they're meeting back up after like a couple of years, I think, and then Wooly expects John. Wooly expects an apology from John, and what John says is that I grew up in this little tiny Irish town. I spend my time playing video games and watching anime, and there was nobody ever who was into the same things that I was, and I was very lonely and shit like that. And then I saw you, and you were into the same shit that I was, and I discovered new things through you, and that's why I want you to also watch and consume and like the same things that I do. Which, it's a funny little thing, but I do relate to that in an ironic level, because I'm kind of in the same boat in that no one really like has the same interests as I do here, mainly because I basically grew up on the internet, whereas many other kids didn't, for many reasons. But yeah. So like that's one of the problems that I always run into when talking about like being social and shit, is that I don't really relate to a lot of people because they don't have the same interests that I do. So the only thing that I can do is just be insanely interested in their shit, hoping that that's enough to maintain a friendship. But usually it's not enough. They have to be, a little bit interested in what I do. And thankfully, some people are. I don't know if they're like listening in for whatever I have to say because of courtesy, but some people do listen, and that's very cool. So that's what I meant by slowly starting to build a social life.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think I also relate to that. Not really. Nobody really understanding your interests. I think that's why we kind of, we come to the glorious internet, and more specifically YouTube, uploading content. I mean, I kind of go into this later in the future video. It's a way more personal thing than anything I've done on my channel, but like that's the point. Okay, I'm not gonna get into it now, but basically, making YouTube content was also a way for me to like express myself that I felt like nobody was really willing to hear, so I just scream into the void. And but I feel like there is a part that there's a part of it that it's critical of this feeling of, okay, yeah, nobody really gets your interests, but also statistically it's pretty unlikely that people around you are going to have your exact interests. And obviously, yeah, some people are just fucking assholes and they don't care, but also you have to put into the effort to understand other people. There's a mutual transaction there. And I feel like, for me at least, when I was a kid, dumb kid, shit, fucking bad, I didn't really get that, and that's why I feel like a lot of relationships didn't work out. But yeah, just but I feel like you get that point. Definitely, there's a mutual transaction over there.
Yeah.
Social life though, goddamn.
Yeah.
I feel like for me it's been pretty okay, again, because I could speak more English and I could be more free. But I've also realized that it really does take an effort to like maintain friends, because over the past 2 days, as the New Year's rolls around, I'm reflecting on like, what kind of new people did I meet, and how did I maintain my friendships? And I was like, besides this one fucking India guy I keep talking to, I don't really talk to a lot of people. Like not in like a we're not friends anymore way, but like I just don't reach out to them because I feel like I feel afraid that like I might be bothering them, which is ironic because when people do reach out to me, when there's like people who are very eager to talk to me, because I don't know, people see something in me, I guess. I don't talk to, I avoid their DMs, I ghost them, because like, you know, it is scary to, you know, jump into a new kind of potential friendship, right? And engaging in that.
Yeah.
And I just chose
Absolutely,
to not to most of the time. And especially because there's so many dimensions to it now. There's the online friendship, and then there's the people that's like, you know, in real life, which is another different thing. I feel like, you know, we often say, I feel like it's an accurate statement that, you know, in online it's a lot easier to maintain quote unquote friendships. Like it's easier to talk to more people, and you can get the illusion that you're being social, but you know, actually deep down you're kind of still, you know, not really socializing truly.
But there's also like one other thing is that I'm still quite introverted in like online as well. I still have the same problems, the same hurdles that I have like IRL online, which is very not fun at all.
Yeah, and I understand. Like, I'm not saying like, you know, the trope of like, I don't know if you watch like fucking Eromanga Sensei. It's a fucking incest show. But there's basically
I've definitely heard of it. Yeah.
The whole gag of the show is that she's really the Imoto, the main girl, is really shy in real life, and she's a hiki, but like online she's like a fucking super bubbly, energetic girl who draws like porn. Anyways, so I think that trope is kind of worn out. Like, it's not really true. I don't think really it works like that as internet becomes the reality, and that's what the point I'm trying to work towards. So yeah, still like if we're in the same scenario where like I am in front of you, Gray, or I am, you know, in the chat room with you, Gray, like, you know, and there's no like proposition where like we're already trying to talk normally, it's a lot easier to send a message than like initiate a conversation, because you have to like, you know, there's more things to consider there. Like, how do I end it? How do I continue it? Well, like, nobody really expects you. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Just like the minutia of social interaction there. But the one thing I kind of noticed is that, yeah, you can say, oh, well, real life, it's more genuine, bro. It's harder, bro, which is true. But I have had so many conversations where like just like I've met up with like my friends, and they just like sit and scroll Instagram reels, and they show it to me, and like every 5 seconds they show me a new one. and that counts as some kind of social interaction. Like I would want to like talk to them, and you know, we go with the conversation for like 20 minutes, and then we spend the next 30 minutes looking at Instagram reels and laughing at them, and it's like, wow, this is not substantive either. Like this I feel like again, internet real life has been merging to the point that it's hard to be like, you know, that one Tyler the Creator tweet is like, how can cyberbullying be real? I'll just walk away from the screen. Like, it's not that easy anymore.
Yeah.
And it does take a lot of effort to fucking pull the fucking phone away from your friends, like, bitch, and then he punches me, and that's it. That's it. So to conclude all of that social stuff, basically over the next year I want to be more involved socially, and also realize that it is a commitment, because I think realizing that is a big part of actually doing something about it. Because like, you know, you feel like if socializing is, you know, you have this conception in your head of being like no effort, then you're not gonna, you know, try to make it better or whatever. So
very true.
That's my social fucking thesis, I guess.
Social life thesis. Social life thesis.
The cruel social life thesis. Okay, so that's one of the things. Getting social life. I feel like there's a lot, but also I don't know where to start even.
Same here.
I think a lot of things have changed, right? But a lot of things have also stayed the same for me. Like sometimes I just have this whiplash or deja vu moment where I realize, wait, last year by the end of you know, Christmas and the start of the new year, I was torturing myself editing videos for metas. And this year, I was also torturing myself and editing videos for metas. The same guy. Nothing has changed besides like I have a better computer now. And I just realized, wow,
that's great.
You know, maybe not a lot of things changed. You know, I'm still in the same kind of communities. I'm still kind of doing the same things. But yeah, it just feels like sometimes I'm sitting in my room and I have this moment of like, oh, where's time gone?
I mean, it's kind of the same thing here as well. I mean, although my school has changed and I've like gone up a grade, I'm still making videos and I'm still worrying about finishing a video before this time or before the end of the month so that I can upload it. So, you know.
Yeah. I feel like it's weird because I feel like those kind of things that stay the same stand out more than things that might have changed. Like we started a podcast. We didn't even talk last year like that much.
Oh yeah, that is true. Yeah.
We started a podcast. I would say you got your whole style together, and I improved quite a bit in editing. And there's a lot of stuff that happened, but they kind of seem to gloss over the things that we notice are patterns in our behavior.
Yeah, that is very true. Yeah.
And I think it just highlights that a lot of the progress is incremental. Like it's not like we started a podcast and our whole life changed. In fact, it's just like another thing we do now. It's like at least when it was on schedule, which it'll be one day. I promise.
It's not even the episodes are not even like double digit and we're already off track, but it's okay.
Yeah. I'm having a crisis.
I'm starting just to make this clear. It's not my problem, by the way. I'm not the editor, so okay.
Yeah. I know.
I'm not to blame.
You're not to blame. You're not to blame for anything. You just throw blame on me for every. Yeah, I mean, it is my fault. I was editing, so I couldn't have time.
I mean, it's all right. It's just a podcast. You have to make that money somehow. It's a podcast with 6 people. Yeah. But yeah, so what I was trying to say is that this podcast kind of got integrated into our just weekly routines for at least a while, and it just didn't seem that significant. And I feel like that's maybe the true sign of progress. Like you just kind of do things differently, and fuck, I had somewhere to go. Give me a second. So yeah. You also tried streaming this year, right?
Let's not talk about that. That was horrible. Okay, we tried for a bit, but it wasn't that good.
I mean, it was, you were terrible back then at Sekiro. You're probably very good right now since you've spent however many hours.
I've spent so much time on it. I've definitely spent over 60 to 70 hours on it. Yeah. But yeah, what I was trying to say is that maybe that's the true sign of progress, because it's about like a change in behavior.
Spending 60 to 70 hours on Sekiro, that's right.
Exactly, that's what I was trying to say. Yes. Exactly. I think the streams were like a good testing ground for our dynamic back then, because we talked, right, but we didn't really get on call together that much, and that was like, let's stream Sekiro, and then you let me through and you roasted me along the way, and I feel like that was where we kind of thought, okay, let's do a podcast. Maybe that could be feasible. But I think I don't know which came first, the streams or the podcast. I forgot already. Time is not irrelevant to me. It's not a concept. It's fake, as CJDX once said.
I mean, Hegel does agree. Time, it's atemporal. He has an atemporal notion of time. Whatever that means. I'm not very sure.
Are you gonna get into like your philosophy stuff? Like what kind of philosophy stuff you got into this year?
Oh yeah, sure. So I mean, philosophically speaking, that does not make any sense. Speaking of my interest in philosophy and like theory and shit, this year saw like an incredible progress in interest in it, because I mean. Going into the year, I was already very much interested in philosophy and theory, and I was already focused on like going to college for philosophy. But this year, it went from I like philosophy to like I wouldn't say I love philosophy. That's not the point.
I want to fuck philosophy.
I guess. I want to marry philosophy and. Okay. So
he's repulsed by the concept of marriage. Amazing.
I mean, yeah.
He went like marriage.
So now I know a little bit more on what I want to do inside the field of philosophy. I'm like actually learning now. I mean, until back then, not until back then, until like a couple of months ago, I wasn't really like actually seriously taking it, not taking it seriously, as in like I wasn't really reading and like taking notes, and like, it was an actual self-study until like a couple of months ago, like I don't know, 9-10 months ago, where I actually started to read and like take notes, and so it could be considered a self-study right now. So yeah, it's definitely like the graph has gone up. What do you call it? Spiked. Yeah, not spiked. Yeah. That does imply a decline. Not yet.
What? I guess it does, because it spikes and then it comes down.
Yeah.
Man, okay. You people with your economics bullshit. So, I mean, I've also I've witnessed you kind of go through the process of like, I like philosophy too.
Radicalization.
I want to basically, I mean, you were pretty radical before then even, but you did, you did get into more theory.
Yeah, I did start a revolution and then try to bomb the parliament. Yes.
Keep your head canon, buddy. So yeah.
What the fuck does that mean? I'm not sure. I'm too old for that.
Head canon, bro. You're younger than me.
My mental age is too old. Yeah,
no,
I don't know what that means. What the fuck does that mean?
Head canon is a thing. It's a thing people say in fandoms where, like, for example, head canon is basically you making up a reason for something happening, or like a story sequence in your head that is not explicitly said.
Okay,
right?
I do know what canon is. What the fuck is that?
So
now I understand what head canon is.
It's a canon in your head.
I thought it was a sex thing, because like head means blowjob, right?
How do you want a head canon this? God damn. We're turning into perverts, as Zizek says. Head canon these nuts. I should say that's like a Tumblr guy who like okay, never mind. So yeah, where was I? So yeah, I think the theory, right? I've witnessed kind of your journey into further theory, specifically like what kind of theory, Hegelian continental philosophy, and I've tried to follow up along the way.
Don't you dare say that word again.
What? Why not?
Because I mean, you just saying continental philosophy implies that there is a division between analytical philosophy and continental philosophy, which splitting philosophy into like those camps already like puts you in a position of being an analytical philosopher, because analytical philosophers basically see themselves as superior to continental philosophy, which they see as, I don't know, poems or something, which is bullshit.
I just see Mr. Julian use that the word one time, so I borrowed it. I didn't know the deep beef between the two camps of philosophers.
Yeah,
see, this is the level of. This is the level he's in right now, folks.
Yeah. I heard Zizek once say that, you know how in politics you can't really define left and right, So if I try to define left and right, you can already, from my definitions of the both sides, you can already tell where I lie, right? Similarly, in defining philosophy, the metrics by which you define philosophy or like classify philosophy, you can already tell what kind of philosopher you are. So if you use continental / analytical philosophy thing, you can basically tell that you look down upon modern philosophy, as in like continental philosophy. Or if you use I don't know, metaphysics, epistemology, logic, and shit like that, you can tell you're more into science than philosophy. Stuff like that, yeah.
Okay, I see. I didn't know that. Thanks for enlightening me, Indian boy.
I mean, you can still say continental philosophy, but like, I don't. It's like I wouldn't say that's very. You can say modern philosophy. That makes a bit more sense, because postmodernism. But then again, you could argue that I'm biased against postmodernism. Okay. Anyway, so 2023 decompression. Yes.
All right, went off the rails in in the appropriate ways because I highlighted my point, which is that this guy has gone deep into philosophy. As he has
I'm
penetrated
far too
philosophies, sexual organ. I'm not gonna go with.
Fuck. Okay.
So yeah, and yeah, I've seen your further exploration into that, and I found it pretty interesting. And I've tried to follow along, but obviously I'm still like a lot of steps behind. But yeah, I think what is it called? You're gonna. I don't want to say this. It's so bad. Basically, I think you have philosophy rizz now. Like, I think it's very cool that you are interested in philosophy. And
those
in a way
two
that,
words
like,
I never thought I'd ever hear in my life. Together,
I mean, genuinely, I think it enriches your character in a way that obviously you're still a piece of shit bitch. I don't like you one bit, but like I think there's a certain good side of you. Like I think it's just very attractive. Like whenever for any person where they're like super into one thing. So I would say you have philosophy rizz. It enriches your character, and, in a way.
Thanks.
And it's cooler to have like
still...
music rizz. Like I have music rizz. I just like sounds. It's like I get stimulated by like waves. Who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
Right?
You definitely have music rizz. That's
no,
sure.
I don't. I try
Yeah,
to talk about music to anybody. They're like, what is this? Okay.
I mean, you think
to...
me talking about philosophy, gets me bitches? No.
Yeah, talking about music also doesn't give me bitches. Okay, I tried once, it failed horribly, and now a drink's name is forever tarnished in my head.
Okay, yeah.
We're not gonna mention it. I'm gonna bleep it
out. Yeah. I mean, like no one except for us will get that joke.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I hope she doesn't watch this podcast. I hope she doesn't watch. No, it's fine. She's not gonna watch it. Anyways, so yeah, 2023 decompression. We went off to like completely different tangents, but so you had the philosophy thing, and let me think of.
I'm still learning, very much a beginner if you ask me. But yeah, that's my not detour. That's my journey into the wonderful world of whatever the fuck I like. Yes.
Yeah. Philosophy rizz or whatever the fuck we have. Give me a sec. I had a list of topics written down, and I closed the book because it was blocking my vision. My dad gifted me a notebook for the year because that's the kind of gifts poets give. They're like, have a notebook to write more poems. Yeah.
I mean, I wish I had a notebook. I mean, I do have a notebook, but like...
You don't have a notebook? 24204 the notebook.
I mean, I have my... I have two notebooks for studying, like self-studying. But I don't have like a personal notebook for anything. I do want like a little pocket notebook to like write down different things that I see across the day, which I think would be fun.
For me, it's like it's just way too convenient to write it down in like a notes app on the phone, which makes me a fucking filthy modern cock boy. But I know I like it. So yeah, okay. We already talked about our content over this past year in the last episode. And we talked about again your evolution and my lack of output. But I think, what do you think about like, has your view on like what you think content is, or like what do you want to pursue in the, making in the YouTube sphere? Has it changed over the past year?
I think I mean somewhat. Yeah, it has. I mean, I'm pretty sure at the beginning of 2023, I didn't have any videos that were on video games, right? I'm pretty sure so. Yeah, you had the Fully Cooley video, which came out like early 2023, and then you went into something else. Yeah. So it definitely did change in that I mean, until then I really wanted to be an anime-tuber. But now I mean, I definitely like anime. One of the upcoming videos that I'm writing right now is on an anime, and I do plan to like do a lot of shit with anime. But I don't want to be known as an anime-tuber. I mean, I'm fine, being called an anime-tuber every now and then. But I don't want my legacy on the internet being that of an AniTuber and being mixed in with like, I don't know, like every other 20-year-old college kid ever with a mic. So yeah, I've definitely pivoted to like more general video essay, pretentious bullshit type of person.
Nice.
And as for like content, I've definitely accepted that I cannot do anything more than one video a month, and that's like the maximum, not even the minimum, but the maximum.
Well,
and I
like,
also have accepted that I cannot. Yeah.
No, it's like your videos are like 30 minutes long, so.
Yeah. And then I've also accepted that I do like making longer videos, but that does not mean that I cannot make shorter videos. I mean, my topics choose a video, not me. To choose a video length, not me. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then another thing would definitely be like I've also, as you stated earlier, I've also have started to find my style, sort of, which is I just it's great because I've been like making videos for more than a year now, like close to 2 years, right? I'm not.
God, you're such a baby. This is gonna be my 3rd year on YouTube. Oh, fuck you, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. I mean, oh god.
I mean, okay, if you like take my YouTube career as a whole, then I've definitely been making videos for a long time. But
you play like you had like Roblox Let's Plays, so it doesn't really count.
Don't mention it, please.
Guys, great.
Shut up.
Great
Shut up.
Okay.
Shut up.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I used to do YouTube before on classified subjects that I will not allow anyone to leak. But yeah.
You used to call me on my cell phone. Why? Hotline bling.
Why?
I can only do my thing.
What's the link?
The hotline bling. There's no link. I just wanted to sing about. I love Drake.
What the fuck?
I love Drake. Okay. Drake, I love you. If you're watching this, I know you are. I love you. Please let me be on your album. You let your son be on your album. I could be your next son.
Okay. All right. So that's another revelation. Okay.
Okay. Let's talk about. Okay. Do you have more? I can talk about my stuff.
It's just okay. I would like to end with a saying that 2023 is like a really good base year for me. Hopefully, like I'm like a tree that grows from the base that is 2023. I don't know. I'm not a poet.
You're a filthy pragmatist like me. I know. Just stop hiding it, bro.
Okay, so how's your year been of content creation? You've definitely had some highlights for sure.
Yeah, to avoid obviously you just look at my output, it's not the most impressive, but I kind of feel in some ways a polar opposite of you, as in like you establish your style, you establish your kind of brand, you switched your brand from being an YouTuber to something more general, video essays, and also topic, niche, basically, yeah. Whereas for me, I feel like this year was me more branching out to different places. Like I already, I used to edit for people, and that's still going, and I still edit for them, and the kind of stuff I edit, it's also different from the stuff I put on my own channel, so that's also another creative outlet for me right now. And I also started a blog, which I'm not gonna link for interesting reasons. Maybe I'll one day like try to fucking put it up somewhere just for old times' sake, but now it's a bit too recent. I wrote a bunch of like personal stuff there, and wrote a bunch of stuff that was just like to emotionally exercise myself. Is that a word? To exercise, as in like you exercise a ghost, not like you exercise.
But yes.
Yes. I'm an emotional exorcist of myself, my own emotions.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to express myself in that way, and that's one creative outlet I have, which is writing, more focused on like personal writing. So editing, writing, and then I have my own channel where I talk about like anime in like a hopefully entertaining way, where it's more like, you know, general reviewer guy. I'm a guy just talking about something kind of content. And then I also have now I picked up my guitar again this year, because for a long time,
nice.
Asian parent pressures, basically. It's the kind of thing where like they wouldn't admit that they really fucked me up, but they want the credit for me, like, you know, picking up again. They're like, wow, you know, you performed in front of, you know, the whole school, two-headed boy. You sang about taking your clothes off or something. Well, that's because I forced you to go to class when you were 7. That's the only reason why you were here in the first place. So fucking, you know, thank me for that. But, you know, I don't want to get into that. Basically, I picked up the guitar again out of my own volition because if you couldn't tell, I like a thing called the music. You know, I like the sounds. I like the sounds of the music. The hills are rife with the sound of music. I don't think that's the lyric.
I have no idea. So yes.
Sound of music, man. Yeah. Where was I? Yeah. So guitar. I picked up guitar and I started playing it. Mostly just covering songs I like and singing my ass off. And that's also another, you know, it's not creative, but it's also another artistic expression outlet. So, and now I'm starting a new thing called the Waves of LCL, which is coming soon. Like the next video is like half written, called you know, it's a music channel where I talk about music.
Nice. And that's the name. That's a very good name.
Waves of LCL. And it's just, I guess, I like that I'm able to branch out to different places, but I also feel like this is probably not going to be lucrative in any way. Like I should be like trying harder to solidify my brand, but I feel like there's so many. This is always the problem with me. Like if you've been my friend for a while, you definitely know. Like I try to do too many things at once.
Oh yeah.
So I do fear that I'm going to mess it up somehow, but I also do really value that I have so many places to express myself in. Like I don't want to just be this one place. I want to put different specters of myself out to the internet, and I don't know. If it doesn't work out, then I guess fuck it. I'm gonna go into an accountant job or something. But if it does, hey, yeah. I think the next video I make on the main channel is gonna be, you know, I alluded to it before, but it's gonna be a pretty different video. I'm gonna call it something like talking about stuff on the internet.mp4 or something like something weird. And just it's gonna be basically talk about how I started YouTube and my journey with it, and how there was a lot of like bullshit that I did not expect when I watched like Digibro back in the day. It was like, wow, I want to talk about anime and stay in the room just like they were. So it's so much stuff that happened since then that made me really reconsider everything, which ultimately, you know, still comes to the conclusion that I want to keep making stuff. But yeah, just look forward to that, to an overly personal fucking YouTube video. So I guess, what I just want to say is that we've been kind of going to different directions. I've been branching out more, and you've been solidifying your branch, and you're gonna probably go to different places. Solidifying your branch sounds so weird. Solidify.
I mean, I did say that 2023 was a base for the tree that is my channel, or like my artistic being. So that does imply branches will grow out of it. So I already did the thing. So I'm already very very smart, and I already foresaw what you were going to say. So yes.
What solidifying the branch? I was just saying it sounded like, you know, an erection. Never mind. Let's go on.
Okay. I mean, I guess sure, erection. Okay.
Okay. So, we kind of talk about personal life stuff, but do you have any goals? I know you don't do them, but like just like for this podcast's sake, is there some?
I mean,
like,
I do. I mean, I do have like goals, and that like
I know.
I do see. I mean, I do have like a prediction of what's not a predict. Yeah, a forecast of what's going to be, what I need to look out for in the future, in this year, and I need to like prepare for. And one of the big things is that we're entering 12th grade. 12th grade is supposed to be like the hardest year. Apparently it's not as hard as 10th grade, especially for humanities, which is my stream that I chose. which I'm very grateful for because there's no science and there's no there's no science. So and also the things that I do need to study are easy in that I don't really need to put an insane amount of effort to get it into my head. And I like sociology and like psychology, all that stuff I already like have an interest in my own free time. So my only thing that I want to do right now is, or like right now as in like this year, is to not mess up my school stuff and my personal like art or like artistic stuff or like YouTube stuff. That's like pretty much the only thing that I want to maintain this year. The reason I say that is that I haven't written like a 3-hour exam since like last year, and this year is gonna be like full of them. They're gonna have model exams, like mock tests and shit like that, and they're all gonna be out of 80, which is like that's like 3-hour exams. And I would have to study for them, and all the teachers will be like little bitches, always stressing about the fucking exam, the final exam, which is the public exam, and like the teachers are usually more scared than students are for no reason. So yeah, I just need to as I said, I just need to balance, no, not balance, but I do need to make sure that I keep my YouTube and like artistic stuff in check, and I do want to like do more stuff, even if I'll probably be very busy with my school stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much the only thing that I need to that I want to look after.
That's a good goal and one that sounds feasible. Compared to mine, I have quite a few. I posted it on Twitter. But yeah. So my goals, we overlap, right? Like I wanted one new video a month, and I'm not limiting it to anime video anymore. Maybe a music video. I don't really care right now. And I also want to keep the podcast going because it's good, and also I like it.
Yeah, it's fun.
And also, I want to improve at podcasting.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I've already stumbled all my words so far. I mean, okay. Here's another goal. By the end of this year, I want to speak very fluently.
In like English or like in life?
Yeah, English, not in life. Fuck life. What the fuck are you talking about? English. Yes.
I mean, I think definitely like from episode 1 to episode 5, there is a big difference. But
yeah, probably.
There's still obviously
I want to
a lot more we can do.
Zizek to I don't know who speaks good English. I want to go from
Jordan
Zizek
Peterson.
to Jordan Peterson.
Fucking Purposes of the Pale, episode 23. Be like, lobsters, curious lobsters. God, I'm looking forward to it. I also wanna. This is a more personal one. I want to lose some weight, at least 10 kilograms. I hope, but 15 is the best. To get myself looking presentable, because I feel like a lot of my self-worth issues usually come from that, and it makes me kind of. I just want to look into the mirror and be like, wow, this little Chinese boy looks good. So I'm gonna try to do that definitely.
Little Chinese boy. Okay, did you see that little clip? Not
what?
The TikTok of some like Italian, like huge, like tall Italian guy who's like, the TikTok is like a tailoring TikTok. So there's another guy who's Chinese who's wearing a suit, and he says,
I think I know that fucking
yeah.
I'm
going to eat this little Chinese boy.
I am food for tall Italian men. We've been exposed. We've been bred exactly like that.
I mean, you're like insanely tall, so you can't relate.
Yeah, well, not insanely tall, I always say, but you are a little Indian boy, so you can't be able to.
Okay.
So yeah. Besides that,
I mean, I do have like a parallel thing, and the parallel goal would be probably to like, I don't know, maybe do some more workouts. That's probably it. I mean, I'm pretty fine with my weight and like my stature, size, I guess. But I do want to be more healthy and fit. Mostly, I don't want to like be in a wheelchair by the age of 50. Although I probably will be. I don't know.
Yeah, by all the wars he'll be fighting. I mean, revolutionary wars.
Yeah. I mean, I'm probably gonna be dead, but yeah.
Oh god.
They probably
I won't be at your funeral because I'll die with you, man.
Damn. Okay.
All right. Let's not discover the implications of that. So the next goal we have, I have over here is record a guitar cover album. I mean, I've said this on the podcast before, and also I posted a little snippet of me playing Crywank's GB eating GB while eating GB on Instagram. I don't know if you saw it on Instagram, not on Twitter because it was too long for Instagram, too long for Twitter, and I haven't bothered to upload it onto YouTube yet. Yeah, I just want to do more covers. Keep up the habit I have right now of playing guitar because I think it's very fun and emotionally soothing. And then we have 5 is bother. I mean, reach out to more cool people. This is the thing I kind of mentioned before, right? Like I was so afraid to really try to maintain relationships. Either it's me reaching out to people or people reaching out to me and me being like blah, 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 closes the door. So I want to do less of that this year. I want to, you know, maybe some people are not just like kind of cringe and they kind of suck. You know, people suck mostly. But there are a few people that I think, you know, we can try to just be more, have more initiative in socializing.
I think I share that goal. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, think about the initiative I had while talking to. Okay, I don't want to say it's fully my thing, but I think I had quite a bit of initiative in like trying to get you involved in whatever I was fucking doing.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think I told you that I played Disco Elysium, and then you were the one who suggested. Thing. Yeah, so it's
everything that came after is like, you know, it just shows that when you're actively involved in like investing in a relationship. Not just like romantic, even though we are romantically. No, I'm gonna say. It's like you know, it's like people on Hive Mind always make fun of these two best friends who've been best friends for like 15 years. Like we're basically married or something. Anyways, so yeah, I'm just saying like taking initiative to these relationships and trying to maintain them usually provides a good result, or at least you get another shoulder to cry on. Or in our case, another digital profile we can smear our tears onto. We'll meet one day, but not today. Not today.
Yeah.
By the way, Hive Mind retweeted my tweet. My life is complete.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Holy shit! Like legit, like after that tweet, a lot of my friends followed me back because they watched Hive Mind, but they didn't know that I had a Twitter account. It was awesome. Yeah, shit. I love Hive Mind. I want to be on Hive Mind one day. Not gonna happen ever, but I'm hoping if I do enough music videos, maybe. Not music videos as in like I sing, but like, you know, videos about music.
Videos about music.
Yes, exactly. All right, and then my next goal is to maintain a good school life balance, which is, you know, we can say the same about you as well. Just hope everything works out.
I wouldn't use the word school life because
because you don't have a life.
No. It was like one of my points in my project that I was writing that one of the main symptoms of the fact that the school system does not work is that students view school as something separate from their life, in the same way that workers view work as something separate from their lives. That's a symptom of a bad system. So I mean, it is a bad system. That's why we're all saying school life. But I would say my school and my, I don't know, artistic life.
School life and artistic life. They're both your lives, and they should both be valued. Except I hate school. I mean, like,
that's the only problem.
I do feel like school is pretty detached from the rest of society.
I think that is true. That is true, but that's not how it should be.
I do agree. Yeah, what a fucking hammer and sickle. And then the last goal I have is a more broad one, just to learn more about the world. I mean, just to read more and get more educated. Because I have this guy over here who does sometimes feed me stuff like, wow, that's interesting. I've never heard of this. I didn't really look into GJEC before you were like sending me 11-hour lectures paired with lo-fi hip-hop music. So yeah, now I'm reading one of his books, his newest one, and I've listened to his debates and lectures, and even though he's kind of an incoherent man in a lot of ways, he's also endearing, and also his ideas are pretty interesting. So
yeah,
I just want to learn more about the world, to feel less like, people always say it's good that you feel like you don't know anything, because knowledge is like an island, right? Like you expand it, but also the border of like what you don't know gets bigger. That's a thing I think philosophers
yeah,
say.
that is very true.
Yeah, and I do appreciate that I have so much more to learn all the time, but also I don't want to. I feel really stupid a lot of the times because I don't know a lot of the things that people kind of, I don't know, maybe take it for granted isn't the right word, but like I just feel like there's so much that I kind of want to make me just like kind of pull up my knowledge points a bit to fucking suffice that. Yeah, to pull up my knowledge, like pull up a gun and shoot the people who say I'm fucking stupid. And I just want to feel less stupid, basically. But I know it's always like impossible to be.
I mean, the more you learn, the more stupid you feel, because the fucking Dunning-Kruger effect or something like that.
Yeah. Zizek always says like he's an idiot in his like speeches.
I mean, Socrates always said that he doesn't know anything. So like it runs in the tradition of philosophy almost.
I guess it does. But yeah, I want to read more books though. I want to read The Trial by Kafka, where like Crime and Punishment, all of these cool books with people that don't get bitches.
Yeah, very, very fun. Yes.
Very fun books.
I mean, Kafka probably did, right? Because he's like a big romantic guy. I follow. I'm pretty sure I saw. Like, I don't think I follow, but I saw like a Twitter account called The Sunny Side of Kafka, where it just retweets. It quotes many very romantic things by Kafka. Kafka probably is not a bitchless man.
Yeah, but also Zizek has been married 4 times, so I guess we all have a chance.
And his current wife is like what, half his age?
I think it's less than that. It's like she's like in her 30s or something.
No, she's 44, I think.
Okay. How do you know the exact number? What is?
Because I do remember looking it up way back.
Damn.
She's also like a reporter, like a published author. So yeah.
Yeah, to not explicitly mention who, but there's a friend of mine who recently got into a relationship by showing people David Lynch movies. So I think we have a chance, boys. We have a chance.
Yeah,
right?
That is true.
We can do it. I'm not going to say... I don't want to be like setting a goal. I want to get a girlfriend. I think that's just, if you try, you fail.
Yeah,
right?
That's just setting yourself up for failure.
Definitely. But I want to better myself. That's next year's goal. And I feel like, I don't know, just learning more about the world is the goal I want to do in order to achieve self-improvement, I guess. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. We can get into more media stuff that we consumed recently to get off this reflexive mood, because reflection, as my friend says, is for liberals.
Indeed.
He called me like whenever I talk to him, he's like, you know what, liberals are so stupid, they always have to conceptualize something before they do it. I'm like, it's not wrong. It's not really wrong. Like, I feel like I always have to, maybe it's just because I talk to myself, but I always vocalize what I'm doing. We're like, this is what I'm doing, this is the action, before I even do it. I don't know if you feel the same way. We're big liberals, by the way. I'm the hugest neoliberal there is.
Yes. Oh, I'm an ultra-liberal.
Ultra-liberal. By the way, I think, we already talked about this last time, but no discussion is enough for this movie. Lily Chocho, you watched it, right?
Yeah, I did watch it, yeah.
Oh, God. First of all, the music. Jesus Christ, the music.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I've been listening to the 4, actually. It used to be 3, but 4 of the tracks, over and over again, the past 10 days. And I think the 4 haven't burnt out from it. So
yeah, the first I don't know, I can't pull up the track list right now, but like the first 3 songs, it's called like Arabesque, Ainochiken,
Arabesque,
Arabesque, Erotic, Ainochiken, Erotic. Those 3 songs, they're always in my head. It's just so cool.
Ooh, my 4 are like Ainochiken, Glide.
And Glide, obviously.
The one with the T, I forgot. And then
yeah. What
another
is it
one.
called? Tobenai Tsubasa. That's the
That's
the song that I used in my edit. I'm not gonna link my Instagram, but I did. Oh wait, I put it on the second channel. I'll just do that.
Yeah, I did see it, but I didn't like, it was muted, so I didn't hear the thing.
Damn.
But yeah.
It's so cool that it's just so cool that a movie about like an alt musician who's like has this cool fan base has this music that's so it's so good. Like it's perfect Japanese. I mean, would you call it like alternative rock or like some kind of rock? Yeah, it's some kind of alternative
Anything that is not
pop
pop.
star. Yeah, it's not pop. It has these weird soundscapes, but they're also like widely appealing in a way. And I can totally get people who like have this cult-like obsession with her. Like it just comes through with the music. The way she sings, it's kind of like it's kind of like Cardi. It's kind of like my favorite artist of all time, Playboy Cardi.
Fuck you. That's the end of the podcast, everybody. We had a good run.
No.
This is the end.
Okay, I'll stop. Give me a chance. So okay, no Cardi mentioned, but I do like how, for example, I know she keeps repeating this "I see you, you see me," this kind of really hypnotic, kind of eerie pattern that gets people into this kind of vibe, as the movie calls it, the ether.
Yeah.
I totally get that the music is able to reach the ether. I know people don't like the music, like some people don't like it, which is like, bad taste, But some people are born with bad taste.
Yeah,
so you can't
absolutely.
Really.
Yeah, that is very true.
Yeah, but more about the
It's
movie itself.
Genetically present disability, honestly.
Deficiency in taste.
Yes.
But what about the movie itself? How's your experience watching it?
Oh man, I mean, it was like it was like very much. It had the same, I guess, structure of emotion as Requiem for a Dream, in that it just got worse and worse and worse. But it was incredible. The director, I think I did mention that the director is like, I don't know if he's friends with, but he's worked with Ano before.
He is friends with Ano.
He's the main lead. Yeah, probably. Yeah, he's the main character, or like one of the main characters of the movie Ritual, which is in one of my favorite movies of all time by Ano. And this movie was it was very, very, very good. It was incredible. 5-star easily. It's like,
so, but I did like gas that up quite a bit. I was like saying this is literally my favorite movie. But how did you go into that with like expectations, or did you just like doubt my taste so much that you don't care what I say ever?
Well, I mean, I didn't really expect too much, because I do think that you have a much more of an affinity to Japanese films or like Japanese stuff than I do.
Sadly true. I think is pretty true.
Yeah, so I did think that you probably like blow it out of proportion, especially considering you have less movies on your belt than I do.
I do. Yeah,
because I'm a big guy in movies,
Big boy, movie big boy.
Martin Scorsese always comes for a drink every Thursday. So I did.
I have Shinzo Abe at my house every Sunday. Beat that, you son of a bitch.
Wait, isn't Abe? Wait, what?
Let's not question that and move forward.
Okay. Okay. So I didn't really expect too much of it, but then again, I know, I do respect your opinion as a media media enjoyer.
Guy.
Yes. So I did expect it to be good, and it was very, very good. It did topple my expectations. And hopefully that phrase does not mean the opposite. But yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to describe exactly like why exactly you like it, but like it's like a very I don't know. It's a very, I wouldn't say novel, but like a very daring take on like growing up, and like not just growing up, like growing up in like a specific group of people, basically.
Yeah, not just a specific time period, but a specific group of people.
I mean, those are the best kind of stuff, best kind of stories, right?
Yeah, it's like how Hive Mind is a YouTube channel about two guys sitting in front of a yellow wall talking about music, but it's also none of these things at the same time. But you did say that like the movie kind of got worse and worse and worse, and I don't know if I agree with that. Like, what did you think about the ending of the movie?
I mean, worse as in like not like bad quality, but like the story.
No, I mean, I'm not saying like I said like, you know, situation gets worse and worse and worse. But
exactly.
What did you think about the ending then?
I mean, by the end, the end is like...
Spoilers, by the way. Please go watch it. Please.
Okay.
Okay, you can...
We're going into the spoilers. So, I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's like a ending akin to Requiem for a Dream.
I don't know the ending to that, but it's probably really
I won't spoil, but like it's not very good. But it's not the same, but it did like, I don't know, it's like a little bit of a gray area.
Gray area, yeah.
My name is Gray, by the way. What did you think about it?
Okay. Well, that's the whole debate over here, right? Like, people, at least, did I mention that TRAKC didn't like this movie? I'll just say it. Fuck you, TRAKC. But he said, like, his main point is that the ending, it felt like nothing paid off. Like, it feels like, you know, the movie kind of felt like eternal suffer porn, not leading to anything. Well, my argument to that was that, like, technically, it's not like in Subarashi Hibi, a visual novel, where the bullies get killed and get raped by the guys who were initially bullied. It was like, well, you know, it's not that, but, you know, there is a payoff in, I think, emotionally. Emotionally, the narrative made, I said it in the previous podcast as well. Even though the narrative, like, logistically makes, like, zero sense usually, but, like, emotionally, it all made sense to me. And also, you know, what's the case in the finale, where, you know, people, they're finding out the main thing, the main mystery in the movie. Who is Blue Cat, the guy who's talking to Philia, who is just the main character's online persona.
Yeah.
And, you know, we just had this intense scene where who the fuck forgot Kuno, I think Kuno, the girl who was like talented at guitar, and obviously the protagonist crushes on her and stuff. By the way, this is what, okay, going
Not
off in so
guitar,
many
it was
directions.
piano.
Did I say guitar? Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Sorry, piano. Guitar is just on my mind. There's this one scene in the movie where there's this guy who's leading the choir, who's not the main character, right? Leading the choir, and he and the main character are biking to school or back from school, and they're just like, you know what? I like what's her name? The girl who was like forced to become a prostitute. Yes, Tsuda. It's like, you know what? I like Tsuda.
Tsuda, yeah.
Yeah. Oh no, it was the other way. So it's like they're like, the choir leader guy asks the main guy, "Oh, do you like Kuno?" It's like, "Oh, well, I don't like Kuno. Well, it's just only because she sits in front of me that you think I like her." And it's like, yeah, that's what I think. I was like, "Well, do you like Tsuda because she sits in front of you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I do." And that scene just kind of really, I don't know. I think the way that scene is written really hit me in a different way. It was like, wow. It's the most teenage line you can ever think of. The most coming of age movie line I have ever thought it could exist. But yeah, and the irony is that even though he denies it, the main character obviously likes Kuno and fucking cries when she gets done horrible things to, after the main character instigated it. So like, he's also complicit in all of this. But yeah, so the scene, then Kuno comes back to school with her shaved head, basically. I think to avoid getting taken further advantage of, because if she's like ugly, quote unquote ugly, then they won't like force her to become a prostitute or something horrible like Tsuda. And Tsuda, it's not very clear, and to be sure, like most of that scene is still kind of very ambiguous. But I think the interpretation is that Tsuda, sees Kuno being like, willing to cut her hair and stay her dignified as much as she could, compared to Tsuda, who kind of, has this apathetic view towards it now. Like there's, she's kind of like, well, this is my job, I guess. I can't do anything about it, so I'm gonna accept it. I'm gonna, try to, she smiles and she like has this, quote unquote optimistic outlook to it. Later early on in the movie, and she sees Kuno, who's able to just, let go of like, I guess, vanities and stay dignified, and she was so distraught by that, I think either by like guilt or just like hatred towards herself, that she fucking committed suicide. And there's this one beautiful scene where like she was looking at the kites flying on the telephone pole, and then she
still have that scene ingrained in my mind. And
then we just cut to Tsuno dead on the ground, and in between all of that, there is still a conversation with Mr. Blue Cat and Philia. This is why this movie is so good. So many dimensions to it. And the conversation is basically about, I think it's about basically Philia, led to Kuno being raped and stuff. It's very horrible. He's like, I want to die, bullying and stuff. And Blue Cat is like, no, please don't die. It's like, I just talking about this whole stuff. And they enter the sequence where they keep just shouting out Lily Chocho's like album titles, like erotic, Koku, and they're like saying all of these things to each other, and eventually bringing them out of this suicidal phase and it ends with Philia saying, "I'm glad I met you, Blue Cat." So good. And then we realized that who the fuck is Blue Cat? Hoshino, the bully, the whole time. This is the emotional payoff of the entire. What?
Kinda like, I was like, it wasn't like that big of a twist for me.
Really?
Was it?
I mean, did you realize it?
Yeah.
I
I realized it like way from the beginning.
Yeah. Okay. I guess like when I look back on it, it's very obvious. Like we can see that. First of all, like just narrative wise, like obviously he would be the guy, but also, he was the one who introduced the main character to Lily Chocho, because maybe you didn't realize this while watching, but like the timeline jumps around, and when they were kids, the main character saw a poster of erotic and was like, oh, who's that? Lily Chocho. So yeah, it's very obvious in retrospect.
That's around the time that I kind of like had a that's around the time where I had a hint as to a hunch as to how he's Blue Cat.
I think maybe it's just my dumb. I was so emotionally invested that I was like really not really trying to think about a lot of this stuff, but also Yeah, there were, besides that, there were also like shots of him listening to music just in the field, and I thought, okay, well, maybe he's getting into Lily Chou, and so I thought he was like completely, because the story is told so vaguely and ambiguous. I was like, okay, maybe he was getting into Lily Chou, and then, even when he appeared in the concert, I was like, that's not Blue Cat. That's just he's another fan now. So yeah, I guess I was misunderstanding the situation, but to me it was a big twist. But yeah, even that twist isn't even like, it is pretty significant. But yeah, they realized the twist, but it was obviously, the main character doesn't speak any words, and she just looks at the apples like, wow,
it's
that's
not
Blue Cat.
it's not the main attraction of the film.
Yeah, it's not the main attraction of the film. Obviously, it's not a mystery story, and yeah, I think it's just the bully kind of tells the main character, "Get me a Coke," and he goes, and then he comes back, and he kind of realizes, right, like, he's Blue Cat, like he's the guy I've been talking to, and he kind of waves at him, right, and then the guy crumbles his ticket, fucking throws it away, and it's just I thought that was like incredibly like emotionally gripping, and so like after so much, after having this connection and also having a mental breakdown, like I think because of Tsuda's death, like there's a scene of Hoshino in the field screaming like being like pretty mad about it, and also his people are turning on him because like, wow, we didn't actually expect anybody to die in this. Well, that's horrible. We should take him accountable. After all of that, so first of all, like nobody really knows like why Hoshino became the bully. Like it's implied later on in the movie that, okay, it's because of his family kind of collapsing, but we didn't know that for most of the movie. So it's just this like kind of like, I think it's trying to say that sometimes people just turn evil or like become something unrecognizable, and we kind of see even after so much, he's not willing to redeem himself. Like he's so deep into to be Christian for a second sin, and we're like so deep in his corruption that he can't even do a basic courtesy of that. He wants to trample on somebody even more. I don't know. I think that realization obviously led to him eventually dying by the main character's hands.
Yeah.
Before that, he was just, if we just get this lonely ass scene of the main character standing outside the monitor and looking at Lily Chou like some really poor quality, and you can feel the isolation in every moment. And maybe even if I lay this out, it's not like an emotional through line, happy to sad or something like that, but it just feels like every scene is so emotionally potent that I didn't really mind how it ended, even though it's not the most like satisfying. He got retribution, but it wasn't really that clear, right? That's my point.
Definitely did not like the ending, and that like I like the ending. I know.
What does that mean?
Like that, but yeah.
So you did not not like the ending. So you like the ending.
Yes.
Yeah. That's good. Or else I would have had to kill you.
So where do you hide Kexi's body?
I don't know. He's too far away from me. I can't really do anything to him right now. But once I'm old enough to travel to California, he's getting fucking. Let's not expose my plans here. But yeah, I think again, maybe it's just because this movie sold me so much on the realism, because this movie does like honestly feel like just a documentary sometimes. Maybe it's just because of like how amateur the camera feels sometimes, and how the dialogue is just so good that it makes me fully buy into the world and anything he's willing to throw at me. Except like, I don't know, fucking Goku came out in the last second. I'll be like, you know what? I buy it. So I fully bought the ending, and even in the ending, there's so many shots that I was like, fuck. Like there's this one shot of like, I think it was the main character dyeing his hair, right? Or like he didn't even dye it, so I don't know what's happening. But like they were trying to dye his hair, and then he brings the lamp of like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
He like puts his head inside the thing.
Yeah, and it's just like, I don't know, that scene fucking hit me in a way that I did, because it doesn't mean anything, right? Like I don't know what that means, but it's so provocative, I guess. Yeah, and the story ends with them turning a new leaf, and just kind of seeing Kuno play piano. as like the only two people remaining that are like, you know, relevant in this incident, Kuno and him. One who has like persevered through so much, and one who has, bro, like, yeah, just think about what he feels when he knows that he's the one who kind of caused Kuno to, I mean, other people would have done it, but he got involved in Kuno's defilement. Oh God, 10 out of 10 movie, 11 out of 10. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, same here.
So besides the music and the plot, I also just love the acting. I think the acting was really good across all the characters, which is so wild because like a lot of them, it's their first role and one of their only roles. Like I try to watch the main the main lead's other movies or like, you know, his other appearances. By the way, he looks so weird now. Maybe it's just because he was a boy when he acted in that. He's not been better. Like I genuinely think in Lily Chocho, with, you know, such a good director at hand, he probably, you know, had the chance to really up his game. But later he kind of fizzle out and try to do like Tokyo Samurai 3, the zombie story or some bullshit that nobody gives a shit. But it is kind of true that I only watch like Japanese movies and shit. I really need to change that.
I mean, I want to get more into Japanese shit, so.
Well, we can trade places.
Yeah.
And I'll study fucking Lacan for 3 hours every day or something.
Yeah.
Besides that, let's. What?
Nothing.
Okay, I thought you had something.
I think we have like a huge delay or something.
Do we? I don't think we do.
Or at least we did. We definitely did when we were talking about Lily Chocho.
Oh shit. Well, okay. Never mind. I'll just edit around it like I do. Oh yeah.
Yes.
One last thing. Okay. Do you have anything that you consumed over the week, or over the 9 days, that you think is worth talking about?
I mean, I did watch like a couple of movies. I watched the new. I did watch like some new movies. Saltburn and May December. Oh yeah, May December.
May December.
Do you have any idea what any of those movies are?
I know Saltburn because Eyepatch Wolf talked about it in his new podcast with Wooly versus. Very nice podcast. I thought it was really nice.
I didn't get there, I think.
Oh yeah.
What did he say about Saltburn?
It was about this. It was like a dark comedy, right?
Sure.
I don't know. I forgot the premise. It's about like some kid who like.
I think I think I sent you. I did send you like screenshots from when I was watching it, and there's a scene where the guy says, no. So the guy is like making out with this girl. Nice. And the girl is like, no, it's not that time of it's that time of the month. And then he says something like, it's good that I'm a vampire, right? And then he goes down, and then period blood shit. Yeah.
Awesome.
It was I don't know. I think it's like a wannabe Parasite. Yeah, Parasite the movie.
Okay.
In that, like, it wants to be like this thoughtful commentary about class in like a stylish way, but it's very stylish. It's very fun to watch. I'll give them that, but I don't think it really does any good with its commentaries on class, and that there is no commentary on class. It's just really fun. It's just made for TikTok or like Gen Z, I guess.
Oh, and that's really? My problem. So you didn't like it?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say. I don't really think I liked it.
Oh, damn. Okay. Eyepatch Wolf gave it quite glowing praise. So I thought, as an Eyepatch Wolf clone, you would just agree with everything he said.
Unfortunately, I'm not as handsome as he is, so no.
You will never be as handsome as he is. That man is so fuckable. Yeah. Please, never mind. I'm not gonna thirst trap. That's one.
And then there's May December.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, May December. It was a very good film. It's a film. Okay, it's like a very hard watch. Not because it's a dark comedy or like there's period blood sex scenes or anything like that. It's because It's a story about an actress studying a subject, like a person who she's going to play in a movie.
Oh.
And the thing is, the person she's studying is a woman who who had an affair with a 13-year-old boy when she was 36. And now they're married.
Okay.
Now they're married, and
the
guy is 36.
Are they gonna do method acting? Let me marry him.
No. But like, it's a very hard watch, but also it's like a very good film. Not just it's like a very well acted, well directed film that explores a lot about a lot about people and like how complex people are and how all that good stuff. Good stuff.
See.
It's very hard to and then there's also I think I really liked the guy who played the victim, I guess. I don't know. The guy who played the guy who was caught up in the thing that happened.
I see.
And I think he plays the guy with such like, I don't know, he doesn't really say anything. It's all in his like, you can watch him and understand what this man is going through and like understand like his, he's basically had his innocence stolen from him, his childhood basically stolen from him, and he's sending his kids to college, his kids to college. He's only 36, and like his peers don't even have kids, So you can just like look at him, and there's like a certain scene about with him and like his son, and also a scene with him and his wife, which very good film. Although like not the best film ever, but still very good.
It definitely sounds like a really interesting concept.
Indeed, yeah, it is. Way better than fucking Saltburn.
I do want to watch. This is about the future, but it's coming onto the cinema. I mean, being on cinema soon. What is it called? Poor Things.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's in cinemas right now.
It's not in my cinemas right now. It's gonna be another week.
Oh,
but yeah.
Okay. I mean, I do want to watch it too. I really do want to watch it. I want to watch it during like this. During my summer break, not summer, winter break. But
I didn't know you lived in Australia, mate. Oh yeah, mate.
Yeah.
All right.
But it has like a lot of A-list actors like Emma Stone and like Willem Dafoe and Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah,
and it's also directed by Yorgos Lanthimos, who's done a lot of good shit, like
The Favorite.
The Favorite, and that's like, I think that's his like worst.
Really? I thought that was.
Yeah, I mean, I like it. I like it, but it's not his best. His best, I mean, he's done Dogtooth. He's done Lobster. He's also done The Killing of a Sacred Deer, which also had Barry Keoghan, who's also in Saltburn. Which, okay, even if I fucking hate Saltburn, I wouldn't say I hate it. It's a film. I don't really like it, but the main guy, he's very good. I really like that actor, Barry Keoghan, I think his name.
Oh, okay. I've not really seen this other movie. I've only seen The Favorite because it was like more when I had the brain and paid attention to movies. Damn, I should watch more of
I mean,
stuff.
it's a good film. It's definitely a good film.
Okay, so that's the films, and then I don't have much.
I finished playing Sable.
Sable, yeah, you finished playing some video games, but I don't know.
I gave it like 4 out of 5 stars. I think it's like a very good game. It's like it's in the same. It has the same vibes as Legend of Zelda, but it does not. It's not really about saving a princess. It's just about So it's about this girl named Sable, or like yeah. So this person, I guess, I'm not sure. It's them. Okay, so yeah, the Sable is from like a I don't know, a tribe, and like, okay, it's in like a different world or something, where there's like not aliens, but like huge technologically fuck, I can't talk. yeah, there's huge technological development, but it's not a dystopian kind of like game or like a cyberpunk kind of game. It's like very much, it's like a mix between, I don't know, nomad culture, but also like semi high technology. I don't know how to describe it, but it's a very good game in that so the main character is growing up, so in their tribe they have a tradition of like after a certain age you go gliding, which is basically just go out there in the desert and like in like all the regions, so you can do whatever the fuck you want, and then you collect these badges which turn into masks, and then after a certain while you attain you can glide or that's what the term they use. You can glide for whatever time you want to, and then you get these masks. And after a while, when you think you're done with the game, or like if you're inside the game, when you think you're done with your gliding and you want to settle down, you can go back to your tribe and then choose one mask. A mask is basically what you do, your job, which I found very, very endearing. It's a very good game. I really liked it.
I've never heard of it before, so I gotta try it.
Yeah, it's also very fun.
I haven't been playing a lot of games, but I did finish one that's kind of short. Do you know Slay the Princess?
Oh yeah, Super iPad Wolf played it, and Leo's been playing it.
Yeah, has he? I wasn't watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw him playing it on stream, but I didn't think too much of it. Then I decided to, okay, after he plays it more on the podcast, I'm gonna play it. It's very short. I mean, short as in like visual novel standards, so it's still like 3 to 4 hours. I thought it was pretty fun just going through all the options, but okay, here's my I don't know if it's a hot take or not. I think it's a game with a lot of choices, but these choices don't really lead to anything too satisfying. Like, I like the ultimate ending, but before that, you have to go through, like, 10 different fucking things that, like, kind of end the same way. Like, yeah, it's cool that this one, she's a muscle mommy, the other one, she's a fucking ghost, and the other one, she's a normal princess, and the other one, she's, like, it's cool, right? Like, making different choices and seeing all these different voices pop up in your head.
Yeah.
It's fun. But then, they all kind of lead to the same resolution, and then eventually, just after you do a certain amount of, I don't know how I triggered the ending, but I triggered it once. You just go into the final finale, and everything gets revealed to you, and the twist is fine, I guess. I just feel like, as a gameplay like mechanic test concept, this is quite great. Like, I really enjoyed picking through all the options, but the story itself, not my favorite. Like, I really think it could have got benefited from more variety. Whatever that means, maybe it's kind of hard for this kind of game.
Yeah, from what I've watched, I was very intrigued from the with the pitch of the game, right? This weird little Lovecraftian fucking like princess monster. But like, I watched a couple of hours, not a couple of hours, like maybe 2 hours of iPatch Wolf, and like I skimmed through Leo's stream, but I didn't. I was quite bored of like the thing.
Well, you don't play visual novels in general. Even as a visual novel fan, I was still like. I mean,
I do. I have nothing against visual novels. I'm not really bored by visual novels, but the whole point of the thing is like this. Yeah, it didn't really catch me really.
Yeah, I think it really depends on how entertained you are by just choices. Like, it's not really a thing.
Dude,
where, like,
one of my favorite games is fucking Disco Elysium.
No, I'm not saying like I was trying to bring up Disco Elysium. Like, Disco Elysium is like, yeah, you can make a lot of choices and be like really free, but it is like I don't know who said it, but I know GJX says it a lot. Like we don't really want freedom because total freedom would be utter chaos. We want. We still impose things on ourselves to make it free.
Technically can't, but yes.
GJX also talks about that idea, I think.
Yeah.
In general, it's a popular idea, and I feel like that's definitely true for video game design as well. Like, yeah, Disco Elysium, it's not the biggest game, right? And also, the story doesn't really alternate. But playing it, you feel so free. While playing Slay the Princess, it's like, first playthrough, you're like, oh my god, this is so awesome. Second one's like, okay, it's cool, but it's still leading to the same thing. It's like all roads lead to Rome, except Rome is bad, and then eventually Rome collapses, and you fucking a new empire lines up on top of it. It's like, well, it's cool, I guess, but it wasn't that rewarding to play through, even though the process itself was fun. That's basically my conclusion. So I'd give it like a 5 out of 10. Even though, if it was just Disco Elysium, but with those choices, it could have been like a 10 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
With a good story, actually. So, and also more politics. No, I'm kidding. So yeah, that's Slay the Princess.
Speaking of politics, I've been playing Wolfenstein, the Nazi killing game.
Nice.
It's very fun. And I also started Skyrim and Death Stranding.
Bro, that's so many games though.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. I'm probably gonna be chewing away at these 3 for like a good chunk of the year. So yeah.
Yeah, Death Stranding. It's an interesting game, but I feel like it's a critical reception that's changed quite a bit because like people when it first came out, they're like, "Wow, walking simulator, really?" But now people actually seem to like it. At least
I mean, I definitely like it. I mean, I went into it thinking it was just a walking simulator, but like the whole premise, I don't want to spoil, or if you, I don't know if you know, it's not just a walking simulator. They're like
there's like FPS sections I think I've seen, but
that's not what I meant. It's like the monsters.
Yeah.
And all that, like the premise itself is very, very interesting, and like the main character and all that. It's Kojima, so
it is Kojima.
It's very good. Yeah, he's also making a new game with actual actors called OD. He's making it with Jordan Peele.
Oh,
do you know who
Jordan
Peele? You know who Jordan Peele is, right?
Get Out.
Yeah. And Nope and Us.
Oh yeah, that's the movie's name. Nope. That one. I've not seen any of his movies, but I know it's good. So I know he's a respected actor.
They're very good.
A respected director. Man, I want to play more video games, but I've always too much still on my table. So maybe I'll play a video game one day, hopefully. Or I'll just play Fall Guys, because my friends got into Fall Guys, and I'm so bad at it, and like.
It's been a long time since I heard that name.
Yeah, I think they're only playing it because like they have like a new Hatsune Miku. No, not Hatsune Miku. Kizuna Ai skin, like a VTuber skin. Okay, not important. What's some closing statements for 2024? Do you want to say?
2024. It's a new year. Hopefully, it's gonna be good. Yeah, I mean, we'll make it good.
Yeah, we'll make it good together.
I don't know.
Because together, teamwork.
The power of friendship.
The power of friendship. My ending statement to 2024, starting statement for 2024 is
Bitch, I'm in the field, nigga, call me Indiana Jones. Feel like Soldier Boy today, so kiss me through the phone. Feel like Usher yesterday in the shower, bitch, I was burning. This nigga really think
fucking legendary. Holy
That's
shit.
Legendary. Bitch, I'm in the field, call me Indiana Jones. And that's it for this episode of The Pale. I've been Curious, and
I've been Grey Link.
We'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.
Yes, goodbye. Have a nice day.